You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, it's pretty clear there are some real reservations out there about Caleb Williams going into this NFL draft. But nonetheless, it looks like the Chicago Bears are probably going to end up taking Caleb Williams out of USC. But NFL teams are now expressing the fact that they are worried about Caleb Williams being pulled into too many directions. Now, what does that mean? I would guess it's got to be the people around Caleb Williams. There's a sense of entitlement that now oozes out of this quarterback. First quarterback ever to not actually turn over his medicals to every NFL team. That's raised a lot of red flags with a lot of people. Then you've got some of the most trusted evaluators in the business coming out and saying, wait a minute, I don't see greatness here. I don't see Patrick Mahomes, Merrill Hodge, Greg Cosell coming out. Dan Orlovsky said Jaden Daniels is the number one quarterback in the draft. I tend to agree with that assessment. But this is really interesting, and we also got a little snippet from Dianna Russini about the Bears and the fact that it looks like, in fact, we can just do that really quickly first, that the Bears look like they are going to take Caleb Williams. The Bears are, quote, focused on using the top pick to select USC quarterback Caleb Williams, according to the Athletic's Dianna Russini. That means the team is ready to move on from incumbent quarterback Justin Fields. The Athletic reports the Bears would like to trade Fields before free agency opens on March 13th. Only one problem, the Fields market is soft. That's where I'm going to stop with that because I've got probably a different video coming in regards to that. As the NFL draft nears, teams are questioning whether projected number one pick Caleb Williams has too many distractions around him. The Athletic's Jeff Howe reported Saturday. Think about this a minute. We talked yesterday about the fact that it feels like this kid's ego is out of control. NFL ownership and this and that and the other. Mike Florio came out and said that, yeah, his camp talked to NFL teams about equity in some of these teams. Yikes. So anyway, that happened. Of course, we've seen the crying in the stands and the poor performances against more elite college defenses, which in the NFL, they're all pretty good, it seems like. But nonetheless, you got to wonder here. I got to thinking about quarterbacks with ego, and look at how good even Patrick Mahomes is. You know, he's got a lot of distractions. Brittany Mahomes, Lord knows Jackson Mahomes has to be the biggest headache ever. But Patrick Mahomes, when you hear him talk, he's got very little ego. Very little ego. Tom Brady, when he played, very little ego. Was very humble. Very motivated, but very humble. Peyton Manning always stayed to business. Always wanted to get better. Always wanted to work. I don't get that same feeling, and that would be a concern to me. Quote, teams have questioned whether he's being pulled in too many directions by those around him who don't have experience in the draft process, along with whether that could become an annoyance in the NFL, Howe wrote. Williams won't be throwing at the NFL Combine this week. He declined to participate in medical exams. Despite those choices, teams are still high on former Heisman Trophy winner, trusting his work ethic heading into the NFL draft. Quote, but it's believed Williams has too much dedication to the game and becoming a great player to veer off course. Yeah, you're hoping. And the Bears are probably putting that out there because they understand, look, that regime with the Bears, this is it. You miss on this guy, you're out of work. Another unknown element has been broached is now how Williams will adjust to the pro-style offense, but that's the case for most prospects. Williams' decision to skip some of the aspects of the combine is somewhat unusual, but he explained his thought process on Friday. Not 32 teams can draft me. There's only one of me. So the teams that I can go to for my visit, those teams will have the medical, and that'll be it. Yeah, but let's be real. What if you're a team way down in the draft and out of nowhere you call in on draft night to the Bears and look, this could happen. And you want to give a king's ransom. You do want to trade the house for Caleb Williams. Well, you didn't get a chance to perform medical exams. I believe there was a defensive back last night when I was watching the combine. They had done his physical, and Rich Eisen was talking about the fact that they discovered a broken foot from his medical exams. You know, I mean, NFL teams deserve to have the medical exams. You are a quarterback. You're the CEO of the football team. You're the face of the football team. But you are going to represent billion-dollar franchises. This is a business as much as it is a sport. And it's amazing to me that sometimes these quarterbacks don't quite understand that. You got to represent the team. Now, the only quarterback I can think of that went this high in the draft that I get the same kind of feeling from is Cam Newton. Cam Newton went number 1 overall in the draft. Now, I know he's beloved in Carolina, but I think he won an MVP he didn't deserve. Tom Brady should have won that MVP that year. But the media was hell-bent on propping up Cam Newton. A lot of the media is hell-bent on propping up Caleb Williams. Looking right at you, Florio. You've wrote some pretty pro-Williams articles as of late. That equity article he wrote, he believes NFL players should ask for a little something with the ownership. Nah, you can forget that. I don't believe that for a second. But my point is, at the end of the day, Cam was a true dual-threat quarterback, and he was basically out of the league by 32 years old because he was beat to hell, and Cam's 6'5", 260. All right? I mean, Caleb, the measurables came out. He's 6'1" and a quarter, I think, 214. Yeah, probably big enough to be an NFL quarterback, even though I'd like to see you be bigger. But, judging by your play style, and I do think he's a better thrower than Cam Newton, but the point is, Cam had the same kind of ego, that same feeling coming out, and Cam never won anything. I mean, let's be real. Cam went to a Super Bowl, got obliterated by the Denver Broncos, and never sniffed another Super Bowl again. He was out of the league by 32. I mean, he should have played another 3 to 5 years. He should be one of the free agent quarterbacks that teams are trying to sign right now. No, they're not. He's done. And I've got a question. Where is this going? It's pretty clear. NFL teams, they've got some real questions with this guy going into the draft. And a lot of it's got to do with who's around him. I mean, these players that's got family doing their bidding can make lives really hard on NFL front offices and ownership. And these teams know it. They don't want to have to deal with it. They want to be able to call an agent up and be like, your guy the last 4 weeks stinks. Well, they're not going to call up a mom and say that. They couldn't do it with Lamar Jackson. There was things that Lamar Jackson needed to hear that weren't very nice that would have been told to an agent, and then the agent could filter it down to Lamar Jackson. That didn't happen. And it needed to happen, and it's why that Baltimore contract with Lamar Jackson, that's why it became a thing on this channel for 7 months. And it became one of the biggest stories we've ever covered here, was Lamar's contract and all the drama and him missing. That leads you to believe, okay, well, when everybody thinks you're healthy enough to play a playoff game, like John Harbaugh, is Caleb Williams gonna set out all of a sudden? Because he doesn't love his contract. Be careful. Buyer beware. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.